Welcome, everybody. I am happy that you are with us. We have 2 more classes left, and I'm having withdrawals from you already. So what I would like to do is between now and the next 2 classes, I am going to make a list of the things that we have covered so that you see that you've learned a lot. You're not the same person that started doing this. I don't care. And if you haven't learned a lot, at least you've had a good time. That's what I wish for everybody here. And you have found a newly found group of people. We have to form a group somewhere. Oh, Adriana, thank you. And we have to find a way to stay in touch. How are we doing with the competition, Jonathan?
Let me take a look.
Está ahí con moscas. Qué poquito respeto le hemos dado. Leave Kevin alone.
Right.
There you go, Kevin. You're not alone.
So we have 400 people registered for it.
Oh, wow.
And the rankings are, we have Carlos EMC2 in first place with 38% return.
38%?
Audrey 05 with 31.6, so right behind. And then Joel Sarah at 28.86% return.
I would like to know where these people are. Who are you? Can you, are you here? We have a very low number today. I think I'm wearing you guys out. I know we have 89. No, I haven't worn you out, but I know that.
Something very cool is that of the 400 people that are signed up, 357 of you have made money. So even with as crazy of the market as we have had, all of you guys have still managed to find your hidden gems and still make some money in the middle of it. So
now, who do not mess with Kevin's hair? Who has found a way? Because there you weren't afraid of losing money, so you just kind of launched yourself into doing it. But how many of you feel that, what has that taught you, if anything at all, about that exercise, about investing your money like that? What has it taught you? Is Carlos around, or Audrey? Or who was the third person? I didn't write it down. I was too busy writing 28.86. Jonathan?
What's that?
Okay. Who is the third person?
Third person is Joel Sarah.
Joel Sarah. Okay. Are any of you here? Or do you just, are you too busy trading? Where are you? Raise your hand. I'm going down the list. I'm going down the line and nobody's there. Really? What are you doing this by algorithms? You're doing this just setting up your computer software and then it invests for you? I want to talk to you. Also, I still need to hear from you the 2 winners for the logo. Please send me an email. Okay, I know that one of you did. Please send it to me so I have it on the top again, because I want to get in touch with you this week and get you your share. And just tudinero@gmail.com. And we have to figure out also what we're going to do for the winners for the contest, but I'm not doing it if you are incognito. I don't see you there. What can I tell you if you're not there? Okay. Today I am going to cover with you something that probably more your parents or the older people in the audience in the group were asking for, and that is ways to accumulate money for college, or how do you do it? And the way that the reason why this affects all of us, and obviously it affects you, is that I believe that the best way to get money for your education is to have everybody involved in it. And I have to tell you, when I did it, well, my parents had just gotten to the United States. They had no idea. I filled out all the forms, and I would just say, here, sign here. They would just sign. They had no idea. They never paid a penny for it. They never paid a penny for a book, for anything. I did everything because you know what? That's how it was. I was 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, and I took care of it. I was like many of you are, I was the official translator for the family. I remember going to the Department of Water and Power. I didn't speak all English very well, but at least I speak better than them. So and now to this day, when I see a young person being the interpreter for the parents, my heart just melts, because I know that we rely on our own people, on our own blood, okay, to give us the straight scoop. We don't need a professional translator. I bring my kid, and we travel kind of like bananas in bunches, right? So I just want to kind of give you a little eye opener. I know that you know how expensive the school is. I know, and I have to tell you that I have, this is really hard. I'm walking a very tight rope. A college education is not what it used to be. It's not like people nowadays, okay, Jonathan? It is, how many of you graduate from college with a degree, with debt because you have loans, and with no jobs? Or having to do something that you didn't even prepare for, that you didn't study, because you can't find a job that will pay you enough for you to pay your loans or whatever. So you end up taking whatever comes your way and hope that you work your way up. Well, I hope that after this class, you realize that there are two more ways to do it. One is by investing your own money, that you can start creating your own money to the point where you don't have to rely on the money that somebody pays you as a salary for you to make a living, and that you can create it yourself even as you sleep, Raul. And I know that you like that about this class. You like the thought of making money even as you sleep. The other one is having your own business. And this is what I would love to get Carlos involved. ¿No ves? Se me fue. ¿Tú ves lo que pasa? ¿Tú ves por qué no me pueden interrumpir? May I have your attention, please? Thank you. So I want to get Carlos Marquez involved with you, with all my young people here. I want you to start. I know that some of you put your soccer, one of you put your soccer paraphernalia up on the web, and you say, and I haven't sold it. And was that you, Kevin? Yeah. And I just want to, if I have to hit him over the head and pull him over here, I am going to do it, because before this class is over, we have Friday. Let me see if I can kidnap him for Friday or for Monday and bring Carlos Marquez. He's in Mexico City. He is from Los Angeles, but his parents are from Mexico, and he lives in Mexico City now. And this man is a guru about starting your own business from your home. So I am going to do my very best to bribe him in any way I can so that he can come and talk to you, because I think that will be something that will really give el broche de oro. And I know that he's going to fall in love with you. Some of you whose young people have kind of stayed by the wayside, bring them on Friday, because this is going to be awesome. This is going to be totally awesome. In fact, I'm going to call him right now. What do you think about that? Because that's how life is. Who does this? Nobody does this. Okay. Let me see. Contacts. Carlos Marquez. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Hola, Julie. I think I attracted you.
Well, I'm telling you, you are on the air. You are on my From Student to Investor class, and you have 119 participants that are listening to our conversation. And
terrific.
You see, and I do this because I do this, okay? I open your kimono like this without letting you know, but I know you can handle it. Are you in the middle of like brain surgery?
No, go right ahead.
Okay, and our end of this class series, which is like 40 classes that we have had, is coming to an end.
Wow.
And I think that there could be no better way to finish this class than to have you come and talk to them.
Oh, I would love to. Let me know.
No, I'm letting you know right now. Take your calendar. Take your calendar. This is for, today is Wednesday, the 24th. What are you doing Friday, the 26th? You're in Mexico City, so you're 2 hours after me. What are you doing at 6 o'clock Friday? Do you have a hot?
I'm leaving I'm actually flying out of Mexico City Friday, but I will be back Sunday. So any day.
Okay, wait, so Monday, write it down. Monday. You have a date with us on Monday. Monday at 6 o'clock p.m.
6 o'clock.
You are
my time or your time?
Your time. My time is 4. Monday, the 29th at 6 o'clock. And we are going to Zoom. So we'll do a split screen and I'll practice it with you so they can see you.
Terrific.
You are going to make such a difference in their lives.
I'm looking forward to it. How fun. Send me all the details and let's do it.
That's it. You got the details. Okay, just do it. No, anyways. Okay, vaya con Dios. Thank you so much, Carlos.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, what do you say? Monday, our last class. He's going to be with us. So, corran la bola. And I'm writing it down porque él no se me va a echar para atrás. Carlos. He is so awesome. Carlos Marquez. Okay, I want you to look him up. I want you to Google him. And he has a radio show right before my radio show on 10:20 a.m. Monday through Friday at 9 Los Angeles time. And it's called Adelante con Carlos. And he is apoteósico. He has been with Univision on Posible LA. This man, let me tell you about this man. At age 15, this man had hundreds of tax preparation offices online in Spanish. 15. He had to get the approval and do everything under his uncle's name because he was still too young to do it. Then he applied, and I'm going to give you names because this is the truth, to H&R Block. And H&R Block did not give him a job doing taxes. Well, guess what? He sold his tax preparation business to H&R Block for $48 million. What do you think about that? So this was a kid that weighed 400 pounds. He doesn't now. He's lost the weight. But he weighed 400 pounds and he was selling he says, I learned what I know at LA Harbor College. Yes, but he didn't go to LA Harbor College. He was in the swap meet at LA Harbor College, and that's where he started selling his lipsticks and his stuff. He now has lines. He has products that he sells in Costco, in Target, and Walmart. This guy is amazing, and he is the person that teaches anybody who wants to learn in our community. His Spanish is really funky, okay? You're going to love it because it is medio jamaiquino, like my kids' Spanish. But I know you're gentle and you treat them kindly. And he has so much knowledge and so much to share with you. So please make sure that your young ones are with us for Monday, because it's going to be an unforgettable day. I guarantee you. Has any of you ever listened to Carlos? Are you familiar with his work? Raúl Botello, are you? Oh, hold one second, mi cielo. Ask to unmute. Kira? See, they tried to contain me.
I got it.
Yeah, thanks.
Can you hear me, Julie?
Yes, I can.
Oh, it was me. Yeah, I wanted to say that I've been listening to Carlos's videos on Facebook, his radio show.
Yes.
He has so much energy.
He's
and
unbelievable.
like if you're down, he takes you up with his energy. He's
Yes.
incredible. The way he speaks, I mean, he's like very motivational.
And you can listen to him and watch him on Facebook and YouTube. It's called Adelante con Carlos. He has his own app, Carlos Marquez. You can download it and listen to his stuff. It is all free. It's free. And in Carlos Marquez, in the app, he has his students that have opened their businesses. He has their contacts there for you so that you can buy wholesale from them. So he has the wholesalers there that he has nurtured and cultivated from nothing. And Raúl, I need you there on Monday. Will you be there?
Sí.
I'm
Please,
gonna have him
okay.
here.
Kevin, I need you there. Yes? You got it. Okay, good. I can't see the rest of you. I can't see who else is on. But please, please, Monday, this was done just on the spur of the moment. Now, let's just, and you're saying, okay, is she going to talk the whole time? No. I am going to share a screen with you of a place that you can go where you can find out what the cost of college is. And today I'm going to give you several websites because these are per excellence. And I know these people. I know Joe Hurley. He is the authority in college savings and college accounts. Nobody knows more than this man. And he has this website called savingforcollege.com. In it, he has this calculator. And just to give you an idea, let's just make it up. Use your chat, and I'm going to get from there whatever information you give me. And also, I want you to start getting your questions ready that you want for Carlos, because we are going to squeeze everything from him. Okay? Oh, Connie, I'm so happy. I am so, Maria Tovar, she discovered him thanks to me. Well, we have kind of shared audiences because when I saw him and I saw the way that he loves what he does and he talks to us with such love and I mean, he gives us a soplamoco every once in a while, okay? But it's because he loves us and because he wants us to do our best. So it's going to be apoteósico. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's personalize the results here. And you can do this, copy the link up there so that you can have it for you. But what type of college are we looking for? Are we looking for in-state public, private, out-of-state public, or a community college? Which one do you want me to do? And the first person to put anything in here can do it.
We just got someone saying UCLA.
Okay, so UCLA would be in-state public, right? If you're in California, that would be in-state public. Great, we're gonna hit next. Now, have you already started saving for college? Let's say, no. So far I've saved zilch. Is that okay? No, I haven't started saving. Right here, I'm gonna do that one. And you can put whatever amount. You can play with this on your own. Given your current expenses, how much can you reasonably afford to save for college on a monthly basis? Parents? Grandparents, do you know that the money that you have in 529 plans, the money that you have in Coverdell's, grandparents, it doesn't count as money that those kids have for their FAFSA. You can legally hide that money. It doesn't exist. parents, grandparents, the money that you have in Roth IRAs, money that you have in IRAs, doesn't count for that FAFSA. So how much do you think, oh, the Eagles have been going crazy today. How much do you think you can put? Can anybody give me, oh, Connie, that's so cool. Okay, give me a number that you feel you could comfortably or uncomfortably put in here. $400, Daniela. You have $400. Okay, let's put $400. You got it. Okay, next. How old is the child that you're saving for? Now, if you're telling me he's 17 years old already, by the way, it still makes sense for you to consider a 529 plan or a Coverdell because Coverdell, you can't put money after 18. 529 you can, but the earnings in the accounts, if you use it for education, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So it's tax free if you use it for education. And it grows tax deferred, you don't pay taxes along the way. So how old should we say? My son, 15. Okay, let's put 15. We're going to have to pedal fast here. Next.
You missed that by about a decade, Mom.
Did I really? How old is the child you're saving for? 15.
I am not 15.
What did I do?
I'm not 15. I'm kidding.
You already went to college.
Do you know how much your college education cost your father and me?
I do.
How much?
More than I care to mention on live air.
Okay. And that's
Hey,
with your
I did my best.
scholarship.
Yeah, I got a scholarship. I did my best in high school. Remember, kids, studying in school matters.
Okay, his school was out of state. He went in Boston with room and board and everything. It cost us $87,000 a year. So you tell me now if I can treat him as a slave now. No. You are my servant. No, just kidding, Jonathan, just kidding. Okay, next is, what is the current yearly, thank you, Kira, yearly household income? How much goes into that home a year? How much do you, 50,000? Let's put 50,000. Okay. All right, next. Now, it's analyzing the answers. Are you ready? You guys better take your fichol. It's personalizing the content for you. It is taking ulcera medication. It is finding college savings plans for you. And here it is. The total cost of a 4-year in-state public school in 2023 is $118,668. If you subtract $42,544, which this is the average amount of money that a family typically receives in financial assistance, the adjusted cost of college is $76,124. The projected college savings is, my goodness, forget it, minus what is this, $16 million? This is wrong. I did something very bad, didn't I?
I don't think so. They must have just like missed a
Decimal point.
a decimal point.
Yeah, let me go back. Well, you get the gist of this. And what it tells you then is, in English, it tells you what it means, that it will cost $76,124 for a family with a household income of $50,000, sending your 15-year-old child to an in-state public school. Then what it gives you up here is it tells you college savings, what you can do, and let me scroll down. It gives you what 529 plans and what programs you could take advantage of, and then take action. How can you start putting some money aside? Where do you begin? The most popular 529 plans, which brings me to the next subject. Do you remember how we have talked about T. Rowe Price and that mutual fund that is a mutual fund that is a Chao Palante, that is kind of, kind of on the aggressive side, but they have an excellent 529 plan. A 529 plan is, there are two main plans that you can do. It used to be an educational IRA and a 529 plan. The educational IRA is now called Coverdell. Coverdell, let me start with that. You can have $2,000 put aside for you, not tax deductible, but the earnings on it can grow tax deferred, and when you take it out, you don't pay any taxes on the earnings. Anybody can put money towards that account, and that account can belong to a grandfather. Now, let's say a grandfather puts in $2,000 and then an aunt wants to put in $2,000 for you. No good. You're going to have a penalty of 6%. The child will have a penalty of 6%. So please talk to each other before you do something like this. The maximum is $2,000 per year, per child, not per person putting money into it. But the person, let's say I'm the grandmother and I have a $2,000 Coverdell. The good thing about that is that I can use that money. I can't put any more money once the student is 18 years old. And the money has to be used for education before he or she turns 30 years old. But I can use that money for tuition, for books, for computers, for living expenses, for anything that you can justify that is for room and board for that student. If you don't use that money, you have choices. You can use it for yourself, for your own education, or you can use it, you can transfer it to somebody else. You can transfer it to a relative. You can transfer it to anybody. And it's kind of like a rollover IRA where you transfer the money and you have 60 days to put it in the new account for that new person. The money that you put in, you don't pay taxes on, but when you take money out, you're going to get a mixture of your earnings plus the money that you have put in. So the earnings part of it is the part that you have to use for school. Otherwise, you're going to have a 10% penalty from the government, plus you're going to have to pay taxes. Unless that student has gotten a full ride scholarship, goes to a military school, or has become disabled or has passed away, which is disgusting. Okay? So we're not even going to consider that. Now, 529 plans. 529 plans is a plan. It's a federal program, but it runs on a state level. Just about every state in the United States has a 529 plan. And some states give you a break for the money that you put away, and you can put a lot more money than the $2,000 into a 529 plan. But the money that you put in, the federal government doesn't give you any breaks for the taxes, but some states do. Sorry, guys, California doesn't. So when we go here and we look at 529 plans, let's look at the best 529 plans of 2020, shall we? This is the place where I want you to go to learn about 529 plans. This is the official place where you can, whatever is here is totally on the up and up. Here it gives it to you by state. So let's say for California. Now, you can live in one state, go to school in another, and have a 529 from another. You could live in California, have a Nevada 529 plan, and go to Boston, Massachusetts for school. It doesn't matter. But programs that give you a break on the state is only for the residents of that state. I'm not even hungry. Okay, so here, I open this, and it's being nice to me. It will open up, and it will give me California. It will give me all the states. Connecting. Can you hear my sinuses? I can hear my sinuses. I can't believe this. Oh, okay, California. So for California, the Scholar Share 529 plan, they give them their rating for 4.5 out of 5. the fee score, because here's how it works. Each state takes a mutual fund or the state chooses the type of investment. You don't choose it, the state does. Then they tack on fees because of all of their bureaucracy, which is on top of that mutual fund fees. And then you see the performance. But remember that we know that there are 4 places where a mutual fund can take money out of your pocket, out of that performance. Front end load, back end load, expense ratio, and 12B1. Here you have a 5th one that has to be subtracted from the performance of the fund because the state also gets paid. What I'm trying to say to you is that if you're not going to have benefits through your state for your 529 plan, you are most likely better off having your parent or your grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or somebody put money into a Roth IRA or an IRA that will not count towards money which is reported in the FAFSA. With the FAFSA, you can have up to $20,000. If you have anything over than that, then they consider the parents' money to be accessible at the rate of 5.64%. 64 or 46, one of the two. Let's say 5.64%. So if I'm a grandparent and the money that I have, I put towards my grandchild's or my son's education, or the money that I have saved for their education, they look at the money that I'm going to put in as they only look at 5.6, let's say, % of the amount. The rest they don't count. But if the money is in the child's name, they count 20% of whatever that child has, the student has. So it's better if the money's not in the child's name. Now, what do you do if you already have money and it's in the child's name? If it's not a lot of money, I mean, take a number, 20% of it, and see how much that would count. But what you could do is that child could gift the money to the parent. But it has to be done at least 2 years before the child goes to school. So it's really complicated, and I don't want you to quote me because laws change very often. This is why I want you to go here to get all that information for you or for a loved one. But those of you that are adults and are listening to me and are saying, I don't even have kids, but you may have grandchildren or you may have nephews that you actually like, okay? And you may want to put a little money, instead of giving them a tareco for their birthday or Christmas or whatever, you can tell them, look, I put this money in this account for you, for your 529 or for your Coverdell. There are 2 other accounts that is Uniform Gift to Minors Act, and the other one is Uniform Trust to Minors Act, where you can also put money aside for a student. And again, that goes in the name there. The student is the one that pays the taxes on that account every year. So I would start with the retirement accounts, then the 529, then the Coverdell. There's something else called prepaid tuition plan. Those were the very first ones that were born. But prepaid tuition plan means that they're going to look at the university that you're looking at, one school, one university. They look at the tuition, and they're going to freeze the cost of the tuition in today's dollars. And you are putting money towards that tuition. So now you're committed to having your little one go to that institution. And the advantage there is that tuition has been going up at a rate of 5% per year. 5% per year is a lot of money. This is why, it's 5% and then the following year, 5% on top of that whole money and like that. So calculate how long you're going to have to wait until you go to college, and the cost of today, you're going to multiply it, not times 5%. It's going to be times how many years times 5%, and it's compounding. So now that you know how to choose your investments better. It would really be interesting if you got under the hood of one of these programs that they consider the best programs. And this is where the cost of this class justifies itself, okay? Because you are going to see what kind of investment they're using, and yet using your own criteria that you have learned, using the mutual fund screener, using your own, the drips, use the don't quit your day job. Remember that one, to say just go backwards the number of years that you would put money in to get an idea of how much you would have in the future. You are going to see that you can do so much better than a plan. The only thing is that for people that don't know anything about investing, it's better to get into something than to nothing at all. I never put any money into a 529 plan for Jonathan or Tony or a Coverdell. Mario Medina does Coverdell because he can put it wherever he wants. He could never live with the 529 where the state is telling him where to put the money because he knows better where to put the money. So this is another one of those cases where the more you know, the more choices you have. You don't have to have glaucoma. You know, glaucoma is when people, I have it, it's when you have tunnel vision, your vision starts getting narrower and narrower and you just see like this. You have the whole world open to you as to what you can do. Can you get a job when you're in college? I did. I had 2 jobs while I went to school. And let me tell you, it was hard. I had no social life whatsoever. I had no college experience per se. I lived at home and I worked 2 jobs. And it's difficult when you have classes up to here and you go home and your mother starts telling you your room is a mess and you need to clean up your room. And it's like, really? And I have to read Don Quixote in an hour and a half and my room is a mess. So it's a lot of pressure on you. I'm going to give you a couple of, and this is not meant to depress you, but it's turning out into a pretty depressive presentation. Okay, so now let's find out where to find money. You can go to finaid.org. Finaid.org. It's an organization. .org is no sin fines de lucro. It's a nonprofit. And right here where it says free scholarship search, you're going to have to register here, but you can put in there a search for scholarships. I qualified for 19 different scholarships. And I did this a few years ago. But the money that they find here is not necessarily money that is anywhere else. This could be a little old lady that was left-handed. And she was made fun of when she was growing up because she couldn't cut right with her left hand. And she said, when I die, I'm going to leave a scholarship for all the left-handed kids out there. So they're going to ask you some pretty bizarre questions. They might even ask you if one eye is a different color than the other. Answer it. Because whatever questions they're asking you, somebody has put money for that kind of situation. Also, do you play an instrument? Do you belong to this or to that? They're going to ask you really weird things. Put it down because they find the money that is privately offered that you're not going to find in many other places. That's one. And here's another one that is really, that I want you to pay attention to the name because it is not a .com, it's a .net. Yes, I do mean. And it's HSF.net, Hispanic Scholarship Fund.net. This place has chapters in different parts of the city, of the United States. Give them a call. Get to know them. Call them and say hello. Drop by if you can. Make yourself, see all those companies down there? All those companies donate money for Hispanic students.
Mom, you gotta wait a minute. The page still hasn't loaded. But while it is loading, if we can take a quick second, Carolina has a question.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Carolina.
Hi. About, you said that first you will put the money in an IRA.
Well, the money that you put in a retirement account doesn't count as money that you're putting away for the education.
But that's
You don't
for,
put it, you don't even have to say it in your FAFSA. You don't have to, it doesn't count
that's for an IRA for the kid or not, or an IRA
for the
the
adult,
parent?
for the
For-
parent.
Oh, okay.
But the kid could have one too. And it doesn't count. But remember that an IRA has to be from labor. So the student has to make money and then that money, but here's something else that people do. You could, let's say you have a business and you have a business because you sell tamales or you sell stuff on eBay or whatever it is. You could pay your son or daughter to be an employee. And with the $12,000 deduction that we get now, those first $12,000 are not taxable. So you could do almost like an income shift from your business, which you get to deduct, to your child, because he's the one that took all the pictures and the one that did everything and the one that put it up on the web and the one that did everything for you, and you paid him. And now that money is not taxable at his level either. And then you get to put some money away tax-free.
Okay, and the other way, if I put the money in my IRA, then I will give him that money in the future when he goes to university. Or
If you want to,
how
but
would
in the meantime, when you fill out the FAFSA, you don't have to declare that money as money that you have.
oh, okay. Okay.
It doesn't exist. You know, when OJ, okay, he lost a civil suit and where he had to pay gazillion dollars. Well, he had all his money in pensions and retirement, so they couldn't touch it.
And if I choose the 529, the 529 or the Coverdell, what happens if they decide not to go to the university? Because my son is 3 years old, so it's a long time, so I don't have
Yes, it is.
idea.
Yes, it is. Okay, so then you can either use it for you, you can use it for somebody else, you can transfer it to somebody else. You may have more children or to another relative or somebody else. If you take it out, you're going to not pay anything on the money that you put in, but you're going to have to pay taxes and a 10% penalty on the gains.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? Did the page load up now?
It's loaded.
Okay, good. So this is the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, and you can see there all of the companies that donate. I would become very familiar with this and just really, see if they have meetings, see if they have whatever, help center, just get involved. Because I know that, it's sad to say, but the squeaky wheel gets the oil, okay? Let's just face it. And you're young and everybody loves you and this is great. And you're doing your own homework. So this is terrific. So you have now finaid.org and you have hsf.net. You have savingforcollege.com. And then Morningstar has a whole section where they compare accounts for college. They also look at 529 plans. And the good thing with Morningstar is that hopefully by now you are familiar to how they rate their mutual funds. They use the same language that you're used to. Let me see if I can put it here. Oops. College. Okay, I'm just going to put college. Save for college. And it's funny they use the word save because saving you would never make it. No, this is not giving me the right thing, but they have, oh, here we go. Save for college investment planning. And this is where you can learn about, oh, they want me to register, forget it. They see how to avoid paying extra taxes on your college refund, how your state treasurer can help you right now. How do I choose a 529, 29 plans, budgeting and savings. So you have 2 official places. There's one more from the government, and it is called studentaid.gov. This is a government place. You're also going to have a lot of private companies that are going to pretend to be on your side and your buddy, and they're not. Because bottom line, they're going to want you to borrow money from them. So this .gov.org in that Hispanic Scholarship Fund is places that are not here. They even give you stuff in Spanish here. So this is from the federal government right here. And if you guys were born with Intel inside, you're fast with your computers, help your parents figure stuff out. Help them find options. And just come up and say, you know, I found this that might work, or that might work. Also, private schools, even students that have no social security number, they have an ITIN number. Schools have their own private scholarships and grants that they can offer them. And they do. So there's money also in each school. So if you're interested in going to one school, especially, I mean, I went to Loyola Marymount University. Did I tell you why I went to Loyola Marymount? I told you why I went to Loyola Marymount, because my dad wrote a letter to the Pope. And thanks to that, both my brother and I went to Loyola Marymount University. I went on national defense student loans. I had a $500 grant, but at that time, the school was $4,000 a year. So with that, and I worked at the Broadway and at Security Pacific Bank typing. I was very fast, not very accurate, but very fast in typing. I had jobs and paid my way through school, and that's how I did it. But just hustle. That's all I say. But I also say that it isn't enough anymore to have a college degree. A college degree is going to give you, number one, how to handle stress, because they give you plenty of that. And number two, how to do time management, because you have to do that. To me, those are and how to research, how to find, how to Google, how to squeeze, how to think laterally, how to think. That's what a good college does for you. It teaches you how to think. Anything that you can Google, why memorize it? But what a college gives to you is the savviness, the self-confidence that you need to be able to say, you know what? I may have never done that before, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. And then you do it, because it puts you to the test, literally, not in exams, but in life. Does that make sense to you? Those of you that are young, that are thinking, oh, I want to go to college and study this or that, it really great. I wanted to be a teacher since I was little. My dad put this piece of plywood on the wall, and I would hit the students with a ruler, because I went to a Catholic school, and at that time, let me tell you, those nuns hit you with a ruler, okay? And so I just passed on the favor, and not in my when I taught regular school, God forbid. But what you want to do, what you're passionate about, great, do it. But how great if you don't have to rely on somebody else giving you a paycheck for you to be able to do the things you want to do. Any questions, comments? I want you to talk to me about this.
I was actually going to say that Julie is completely right about colleges giving you scholarships. Most colleges have a huge budget for scholarships, and if you are good at sports, if you're a woman in the STEM majors, if you play an instrument, if you have a fairly decent GPA, they'll throw money at you. Because I had a 4.0 through all my years of high school until my senior year, when I stuff happened. I tanked my GPA slightly, but when I went to college, I still was able to get nearly a half ride from a private school. So they will give you money, especially if you ask.
Also,
And
they
for
may
example, go ahead.
also, they may give you money even after you've accepted. So for me, I was not a good student my freshman and sophomore year. I didn't believe that homework was something I had to do, and my GPA was terrible.
Do you remember when I took the military school application and put it on the bar and I
Yeah.
said, here, this is here? Uh-huh.
That was my turning point, was when I saw the military school application. But I managed to turn my grades around, ended up with over a 4.0 GPA my last year, and I committed to going to Northeastern University with no scholarship. And then after my last year, or after my last semester of grades got sent to the school, they said, you know what, you did a great job this last semester. Here's some money, and gave me a scholarship, even when I had already put in my application, got accepted, committed to the school, put in my deposit for the fall. They still gave me money. So senioritis or slacking off your last semester, I promise you, don't do it. You'll have time. You'll have a lot of free time in college. Finish high school out strong, because there's a lot of money that they have sitting on and they just don't know what to do with. So let them throw it at you.
Also, let's talk about Tony, your brother. His grades were not so great, but he knew how to throw that baseball. So he had a full ride at Gainesville University, at Wake Forest University, and at the University of Arizona because of baseball. So any gift you have, you play soccer, you play an instrument, you sing, you're in the choir, you dance, you do whatever it is you do it, because that could get you a scholarship. So it's not just academics. It's also whatever it is that you do with a passion, and you do it well, and you excel, because when you do something you love, you tend to do it more. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. So those things, parents, it's really hard for us. We think they have to be hitting the books all the time. You know what? He just wants to play soccer. Hey, there's a future in soccer. So, just cultivate their gift, whatever that is.
And on top of that, I actually took a year off after high school because I burned out my senior year of high school, which is why my grades dropped. It is okay to take a year off between high school and college, especially if you don't know what you want to do or where you want to go or anything like that. It's okay to continue to figure out your life or work and save up money so it makes it easier to go to college, because when I did go to college, I had about $15,000 saved up to help with living expenses and other things that I wanted to do in Boston. So, yeah.
Okay, any questions? Young people, Kevin, what are you going to do about college? You don't know? What do you want to what do you want to do? What do you want to do when you start working for a living?
Sorry, which Kevin was this? Kevin Cruz?
Kevin Cruz.
Okay, let me unmute him so we can hear from the man
Kevin
himself.
Cruz, have you thought about college?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. All right, but when you see somebody doing something, what do you think you want to be?
I play soccer.
To play soccer. Okay, good for you. You know what my son Tony wanted to be?
No.
He wanted to be a garbage collector. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they only worked once a week.
Wow.
He would see that the trash would come by one time a week, and he said, oh, that's what I want to do. But does the trash collector just work once a week?
No.
They may come to your house once a week, but every day they're in a different place, right?
Yeah.
He didn't realize that. So you never know what ideas you guys have in your head. How about you, Raul? What do you want to do?
I am unmuting. Oh, you got it.
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
No, I do know just to be
What do you want to be when you grow up?
a singer and somebody that works for computers.
Okay. Do you sing now? Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
Will you sing something for us?
Don't put the boy on the spot like that.
Let him. You can turn around and not look at us and sing to us.
You sing? I didn't know you sing.
Pero canciones que tienen.
La canción que tú quieras, aunque sea la cucaracha. Which is your favorite song?
No sé.
¿No tienes ninguno? Happy birthday to you.
Pero te trato de pensar una.
Ok, si tú piensas en una, déjame saber, porque me encantaría que nos hicieras alguna canción, que nos cantaras alguna canción, aunque sea 3 palabras nada más.
Julie, I wanted to share something too.
Yes.
I mean,
What do
this,
you want to do when you grow up?
well, I'm already doing. This topic that you're touching on today, I mean, very important for the young people. Going to college, I think is very important. I wanted to share a little bit about my experience because I think I have a similar story than yours. I think you have always said that you came to this country when you were like 14 years old, something like that.
14, yeah.
Well, I came to this country when I was 15. And similar story because I didn't know English and I went to high school. I started 10th grade. And by the time I graduated high school, well, I graduated in the top 10% of the class, and they gave me a scholarship to go to college. And that's something that I was already thinking when I was in high school. Like, that's something I wanted to do, to go to college.
How did you manage to do that without speaking English?
Well,
I swam. I joined the swim team, and I majored in math because the numbers were the same.
When I first started, I've always been good in math. I was in school in Mexico, and then I came here. And over there, I mean, I've always been kind of smart. I mean, like, I never had issues with school. Like academics, I always liked it since I was a kid. So, as a matter of fact, like my parents tell me that when I was like 4 years old, I started like reading, and the teachers, they were like impressed because I started reading like when I was 4. But so academics was something that I was good at. And so
you were wired for it.
I didn't know English. So when I was in 10th grade, it was all like ESL classes the first year. And then the second year, like they reduced it. And then by the senior year, it was like all regular classes. And I was still, I was being shy because I didn't want to speak much because, you know, I mean, you feel kind of like ashamed of your,
of course, of your accent and everything else.
Yeah, so, but I was already understanding and stuff. So by the time I graduated, I got a scholarship and I went to college. I went here to University of Houston, the main campus that you were here like a couple of years ago for a presentation there at the campus. But anyways, during my years in college, I was applying for scholarships. I also applied for financial aid. Also, something that made it harder, I didn't have a social security number. So I couldn't apply for federal financial aid. And fortunately, the state of Texas had passed a law back in 2001 that allowed undocumented students to go to college paying in-state tuition. So I applied for financial aid, and during the whole 4 years or 5 years that it took me to graduate college, I received financial aid from the state, and that was not enough to cover all the expenses, but I was always looking for scholarships where they didn't require a social security number. And I found several, and you mentioned here the
You hustled.
The Hispanic Scholarship Fund. I did get a scholarship from them. I think it was joined with Telemundo, and they even did like an interview on TV, like for like I was.
That is so awesome.
So basically, the point is that when you put it in your head that this is something you want to do, I mean, it can happen. When you're
absolutely,
if you have
and you know what, you bet in anything you do, but anything that you put your head to, you're going to accomplish. And now, Eleazar, that's it. You know the formula. You know how. You know you have to be willing to pay the price, and that's what you're willing to do, and you do it. How many of you parents, how many of you that are there are saying to your kids, go to school. I didn't go to school, and look, I'm getting paid for what I do. I get paid for my physical work. I want you to get paid for what you know, not for what you do. Big difference, big difference. And once we realize that, and there are many ways to know, you can just learn Googling too. So it doesn't just mean go to school and serve the time and then go home and forget about it. Learn it. Put your heart into it. Become the best that you can be, because later you will be compensated for that. I'm telling you, the stubborn one, the one that people think, no, that one's, whatever. That's the one that is going to, how many do you see that people would say, oh, he was the nerd at school. Oh, he was the, and then cue me, look what happened. Yeah. Like the swan, the story of the swan and the ugly duckling.
And I was working a full-time job too. For the first 2 years, I was doing full-time school, full-time job. Basically, I didn't have social life like you're saying.
So it can be done. It can be done, Eleazar. It can be done. Okay. How, okay, somebody was asking me about a school designer. I remember that I went to the Downtown Business Magnet. It's a school on Temple and Beaudry in Los Angeles. And that's where I did the first investment club with the students there. I said, give me 35 seniors. And I took $10,000 and I said, okay, we're going to invest these $10,000. And they were my money. So I opened the brokerage account. They decided what to invest. They made 78% on that money. And then they bought a marquee for the school. And those students they had never heard the word stock before. But this opened up a whole world for them that the computer could be used. Hewlett-Packard donated computers and printers for them. And these students really saw a new world that they didn't know existed. They came from homes. There was a busing school. So many of the kids came from San Pedro and from different schools that, you don't talk about. In fact, one of the parents wanted to come to the classes. And I said, no problem. You go ahead and join us. But this opportunity, when you go back to your new normal that we're going to have, I don't know what that is. I want you to be proud of what you have done here. I want you to be proud of the tenacity and just being here. Even if you haven't been here every single time, it doesn't matter. You've been here sometime and you have learned something. And I hope that it's been more than just earnings per share. It's just knowing that you don't need to conform to whatever gets thrown your way. You can decide that you are not going to blame circumstances. You're not going to blame the government or the president or the weather or this, or it's because I don't speak English or I don't have a social security number or I'm fat or I'm skinny or I'm too tall, I'm too short. No, it's whatever you have can be the reason why you succeed, or it can be a terrific excuse of why you failed. There are plenty of excuses why people fail. And if they're happy just living with that satisfaction that that's why they failed and they blame somebody else, terrific. But there's those that refuse to do that and say, failure is not an option here. What am I going to do? What did I learn from this failure? What did I learn from this and how can I make it better? That's what I want to give to you. It's the love for learning and it's the love for just having that, to say, You're not alone, Mom, or you're not alone, Dad, or you're not alone. We are together here, and we together are strong. And then you put your best foot forward. And I hate to sound picua, but I tell you that when Jonathan was 3, he told me, you can't break my spirit, Mom. And he's right. That your spirit, nobody can break. Nobody. Okay, any comments, anything? I know that I'm getting a little old lady-ish and weepish because it's like the end of our classes, and I just want you to take a piece of my heart with you. Yes, questions?
Yes, we have 2 hands raised. Mabel?
Mabel!
It's thinking about unmuting you. Thinking about it.
Well, listen to this, Norma.
Can you
I
hear
was
me?
saying, yes. But one second, Mabel, 1 second. A principio de marzo, I didn't even know that the companies had a symbol. And I mean, you've come a long way. You took the toothpaste out of the tube, and now you can't put it back in. You'll never be the same. Mabel, mi amor.
My dear Julie, no, thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing for us. It's amazing.
I'm doing it with you. Your success is my success.
I was the same like Norma. In the beginning, I didn't know about the symbols and everything, but now I know a lot. Thank you. And I wanted to share the same thing. We came to this country 5 years ago.
Wow.
My husband is an international student. My children, they came without knowing English. But now my son, my first son, Alejandro, he graduated from high school and he got a food scholarship. It was
my
hard,
goodness.
very hard, because
Yes.
as international students, he couldn't apply a lot of opportunities that many kids they have here. When I was in my country, I hear a lot that here is very expensive to go to university, college, but yes, it's expensive, but if you have the information in your hands, you can get a lot of scholarships, programs. It's only we need to educate ourselves. And I am very proud of our people, nosotros los latinos. Perdón, voy a hablar en español, Julie.
Habla en chino si quieres.
Ok, no, me emociono mucho porque nosotros los latinos somos una fuerza muy grande y me emociona mucho cuando veo que nuestra gente se está preparando. Yo siento un orgullo muy grande por mi hijo porque sé que él le costó cuando vino sin saber inglés y ahora él quiere estudiar, quiere ser un médico, entonces ahora está en el primer paso. Hay muchas opciones afuera, no nos dejemos, busquemos, luchemos, nosotros somos grandes personas y tenemos algo más, que tenemos un gran corazón y si trabajamos juntos o no, vamos a crecer. Qué lindo vernos crecer.
Absolutamente. This is why I love to be in a group like this, where we have, in here, we're made of the same stuff. We have that blood inside, that is the Latino blood, and that gives us that extra oomph that you can't teach. And it makes us hurt more, but it makes us have more gratitude too, and humbleness, and let your work speak for itself. You don't need to hit your chest like a gorilla. Let your work speak for itself and be the best you can be. I don't care if you sweep floors, if you do everything with excellence, the best that you can do so that you're proud of what you do. That's how you help us all. So that they don't say, when I wrote my first book, my book agent in New York told me, Latinos no leen. Latino no leen? Really? Spanish people don't read? You are kidding me. I was flabbergasted to hear that. What an insult. Latinos no leen. So what do we do? ¿Comemos hierba? No, what do we do? So please, don't let anybody put a label on you. You decide how far you're going to get. And if you can't go through the door, you go through the window. but you find a place, you find a way to get in there. And it doesn't mean you're not scared, but it means you don't let that fear just totally paralyze you.
Yeah, Julie, no, thank you, because you always are giving us nice words that push us to be better. And we can do amazing things. If we work together, we can do amazing things.
We're doing it.
Because we came from different countries. I am from Ecuador. I am so happy because I met here people from Salvador, Mexico, a lot of places. All of us, we have the same heart, the same love and the same passion. And I am so happy to say, soy latina y trabajo fuerte y quiero que mi familia salga adelante.
And you don't have any reason to apologize to anybody for anything. You know what I mean? You just, and you fake it till you make it. And when you start working somewhere, you get your suit and you put it on and you look pretty and you don't look like me, okay? But you, and yes, and you fake it, because even though you're dying inside, you don't have to project that. You go for it. And there's a word for that I can't say, but
we need to work, Julie, we need to work very hard. Sometimes it's hard. We know.
We do, but it's not enough to work hard. We have to work smart. And like Vero says, your success is a must. You have to succeed. We need you to succeed so that we can look up to you and say, wow, look at that. I am going to do that and then some. And that's what we do. And peacefully and calmly and calladitos, sin decirle nada a nadie, you start investing your money, and then you know what? Before they know it, you own them. You own them. And then what? Then they answer to you. Yeah. I'm sorry, I get very picua. I do because I'm old and because it's the end of the school year for us and everything else. But anybody have any other thing they want to say? Otherwise, I'm going to release you.
I mean, we do have 2 more hands raised.
Okay.
Joe? It's
and I'm relying on you, Kira.
I know. There we go.
Okay. I think I'm on mute now. Am I?
I can hear you. Who's this? Jorge?
No, Joe.
Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, hi, Julie. I have a lot of things to say, but
then
I know
say them, honey.
But I know time is limited. However, when people say and pray God to make God do things for them, but sometimes God doesn't have time to take care of all those things that we can only take care of for ourselves.
God helps those who help themselves.
Well, I'll put it this way. God cannot do the things for you that he can only do with you. So for that reason, I want to say that sometimes he uses hands or people who are willing to help him out on that task, and that's where you came in. So he put you in our lives to help us out to achieve our goals.
Put you in mind. He put you in mind.
So,
it works both ways. That's how it works.
Yeah, so in that token, I appreciate your help and your teachings and the way that you share your knowledge and your experiences along with the people that are helping you.
And you pay it forward, and you do it for somebody else. And that's how we get ahead.
And even the people that are in the class, I mean, all the students, because they ask questions that I may not think about until they come out with them, and then I realize, oh, I had that question too, but I didn't know how to explain it. So anyways, Julie, thank you so much for what you do. So
Hi, Joe. Thank you. You know what? I feel uncomfortable when you start all that, because this is not what this is about. But I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I have incredible gratitude. And I just know that I have nothing that you don't have. And I remember one time on the radio, this lady said, yeah, but I'm not you. And I said, you know what? If you think I have something you don't have, take it. I'm giving it to you right now. Take it.
Well, I don't have what you have.
Oh, yes, you do.
Other
Oh, yes,
than
you do.
the willingness to learn and maybe the ability to learn it. But
That's all you need.
you have the knowledge. So now we
But
have.
I'm older than you.
Yes, but.
How old are you?
Well, I'm only 44.
When I was 44, it hadn't even been a year since I started to invest. Look
So
at you now. I
so at
wasn't
this
where you
point,
are.
I would like to ask you, actually I have three specific questions. And I want to tell you, I have a lot of testimonies now about what you have done and what we're doing now. Okay, a year ago, I mean, I've been trying to save money, you know, to invest in stuff. I am being related with the investing world, but never actually making profits out of it. Okay, and for the last few years, I have had time putting some money together, some savings together. But last year, I decided that I wanted to do something, and I started saving 10% of my income. And I am proud to tell you today that I already funded 2 accounts, one Roth account with maximize my 2019 limit, and I'm ready to maximize my 2020 limit as well. And I have my individual account, and I'm being successful on my trading lately. With your advice.
Good for you. And that's $12,000 right there. Okay, just those 2 accounts. Okay.
But now,
wow.
That's not only because now that I'm moving in that direction, my son, who has been watching and listening part of your classes, part of the lessons, now he's having savings, and out of his mowing business that he's running around the neighborhood, now he's making money. Now he has goals. He wants to buy his bike. He wants to buy his first computer out of his pocket. And because now he has an account, I mean, a Ziploc bag account to invest into the market as well, because he is learning how to do it. You know, $200.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You know, when Jonathan was little, I can't tell you how many times I left the house. Sometimes he was sick, and I had to go catch an airplane. And I would leave the house crying. And for me to have him sit right there and listen to you talk, and you're taking the guilt away from me, because I always thought I should have spent more money. I should have spent more time with him. I didn't give him so much time. I was always working. And now he's seeing the fruit of that work, the reason of that work, and he is moved by it and inspired by it. And you have no idea what those words mean to me as a mother. How many of us have had to sacrifice time with our kids because we're working? And it's harder on the mother. I hate to say it. I mean, the father, we justify it, but the mother needs to be there, right? And it's really hard when you try to balance everything. So thank you. Thank you for me, for very selfish reasons. Thank you for saying what you're saying.
So to this point is just my declaration, pretty much, my statements, but now the questions. So the strategies. You talked to this later, before, about the Roth IRA, but the Roth is only for income receiving people. So
yes,
how can we open a Roth IRA for a minor that is 10 years old or younger?
Okay, let me tell you how.
Because this is where I'm coming from. Okay, I already
let me tell you how.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you how. And I gave the example, and maybe I was talking too fast. But let's say that I'm going to start selling things on Mercari, Mercari.com. And my 10-year-old is really good with the camera and with the computer. So I tell him, you know what? I'm going to hire you. You take all the pictures, you upload them in the computer, because I don't know how to do it. But I'm going to be the one who does the money and whatever, does the adult thing. So I kind of partner with the little one, and he or she does whatever. Maybe knocks on doors of neighbors and gets things they don't need for us to be able to sell. And that you pay your son or daughter as long as you declare it at the end of the year. You give him a 1099 and you declare that money that was paid to him. He then declares that as income, doesn't pay taxes on that, but he can do his Roth IRA.
So the Roth IRA doesn't have age limit?
No, you have to have income and a Social Security, which now the minute you're born, the first screen, you get a Social Security number.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, my son.
What about kids that are in commercials and that are in all of that? Don't you think that they make a living?
Right.
No, there's no age.
Yeah, because that student plan is very limited. I was looking into it. I mean, $2,000 doesn't make up for college. Actually, I mean that's.
But that's what most people have to choose from. That's all they have. That's all they know. But you know more now.
Yeah, because my son and I, we were thinking about opening an individual account for him. I mean, for my name as a custodian, for him to manage, and he can start investing his $100 a month or $200 a month.
Do it.
You know, he wants to do drips and stuff to start with. However, as far as taxes, okay, I am on the 15% income. So it's better for me to pay the 15% income on the individual account when I can make 40 to 50% gains per year on that money.
You're an animal. You're a beast.
I mean, to me, there is no brainer. So that's you know, but again, it's
so
my strategy.
I throw the pieces at you and you make your puzzle. Well,
right.
Don't worry about it. Take it one step at a time. It all comes together. I have a friend that told me that it comes together little by little.
Mm-hmm. Well,
thank you very much for sharing that. I think we had one more question.
Yeah, Julie, the other question is, what do you suggest to be able to, I mean, we're not experts like you are, we don't have that much experience, but now we are having a little bit of results. And I think many people in this call have results now. So how can we, or what do you suggest to teach or help those that might be interested on, so we can share this information with people without getting into legalities, getting into legalities or misunderstandings of the laws and stuff?
I think that's an excellent question, and it's something that we should all think about and have it kind of as our homework, because as long as there's no money exchanging hands, you can have investment clubs where they are self-directed investment clubs. So you can get together with people from the group, let's say, and you each open your own account, but you decide what to invest in together. So somebody can bring in a company. Every person brings in a company and you all look at it, and with Zoom, you can do that. Right. And you can discuss it and you can decide and you can keep learning together, and then you decide if you want to open it on your own or not. So that could be something we could do.
Okay.
But let's give that some thought, because it would be a shame to dissolve and to just kind of get back into the minutia of life and forget about this experience.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Julie.
That's amazing, Joe. Thank you. See, and people like that. All right. Anybody else? Otherwise, that's it.
All right. I think we don't have any more questions, so.
Okay. All right. Well, Raul, you made it all the way to the end. Good for you. Kevin Cruz, good. All of you. Henry Leva, I didn't put you on the spot today, but I can still do it if you want me to. No, huh? Okay, I think Bugambilia has one question. Bugambilia, just because I love to say your name, okay? Ooh, Henry says he doesn't mind. You want to sing for us, Henry? Wait a minute. Wait, I can't let this go by. Oh no, oh yes. Henry, do you want to sing for us? Okay, you're unmuted.
I really don't know any good songs to sing.
So sing a bad one.
I don't know any.
You asked for this. Okay, well, maybe before we stop our last lesson, you can do that, okay? You have to leave your mark. If I can make a fool of myself, honey, there's nothing you can do that will make a fool of yourself. So, all right, Bugamilia, mi cielo, you have a question.
I just want to say que eres una mujeraza, and I want to ask Akira if you can mute everybody so we can give it un aplauso para ti, because you deserve
I
it.
am going to unmute everybody because if I know how to do it, I don't know how to do it. Maybe Kira knows how to do it.
I just unmuted everybody.
Everybody's unmuted now. Oh, you are the best. Happy.
That's the only thing that I want to say.
So much.
I wish
Gracias.
You are amazing. Well, Adelita.
Sorry, I tried to mute everyone and it muted Julie too.
Oh, she unmuted me. That's okay. It's time for that. But he can sing in our graduation ceremony with Carlos as our padrino. You're going to love Carlos. And I mean, I talk about putting him on the spot. I did. And that's so great because he's going to be ready. So, okay, you guys, I will see you then on Friday. Be safe. Be good to you. And what can I say? You know, I love you.
Bye, everybody. See you all on Friday.